Hi, this video will be an introduction to what you will be learning about this week in global e-commerce. The competency that we're working on is examine the globalization of business and the reasons for conducting business internationally. So why international or global business? First of all, it's a great way to increase market share. You can cross over borders and exchange goods, services, and or resources. Everyone wants to expand their market and share and to sell more and more products. And that is one of the major importances of where international business lies. Many times there is a cost advantage as well of exporting products to a different country. This cost advantage is apparent in the way China is operating in today's business environment. The benefits of international business are huge to Chinese companies because their cost of production is very low. One of the major contributors is their low labor cost due to which Chinese equipments are able to match any rates in the international market. Another reason is it is also to a company's benefit because if they're afraid of a recession in their own country, a lot of times companies like Mitsubishi, Dacon, Blue Star, and others have presence across multiple countries and regions. This is so that they can mitigate the effects or lessen the effects of a slow economy in their home country. And just like diversification of products is important, diversification of markets can also benefit the company. Hence, one reason the international business is considered important is because the safety it provides to the company less an economic downturn. And finally, even if the external business environment is not down, there are worse things that can happen to the company which increases the importance of international business. A company could be losing its domestic market share and it could find satisfaction in a new international market. This will revive the company in a big way and give fresh revenue to a company which can help it fight in the local market as well. So what are some of the impacts of globalization? The positive ones is it allows business organizations in developed countries to invest in the developing countries where they probably wouldn't have the money available there to invest themselves. It also helps to break down a lot of the cultural barriers, which eventually may help people be able to do business better. And perhaps maybe there are less wars because if you're working together, you probably wouldn't want to get into a war together. Some of the negative impacts are the rules and regulations regarding the protection of the environment are less in underdeveloped countries. I have a friend that their son often goes over to China and pollution is terrible there, like the smog and things like that. And so I feel sometimes these bigger companies are taking advantage of the smaller undeveloped countries. And then the negative impact also is the use of cheap labor, skilled and non-skilled, and the majority of big industries prefer this, so they'll go overseas and rather than trying to keep their productions locally. And this happens even when it talks about skills like in India and things like that. I know that a lot of customer service jobs, accounting jobs, things like that actually can be done there for significantly less. It would be worth your checking out if you're interested in that. So that's the impact on globalization. I just want to go over a few of the things that you're going to be working on this week. First of all, this will be the first week you read from that e-text that I had you download. You're going to be reading chapter 1. Some of it you can skip over. It's not all relevant, but it is really a good overview in international business. I also have you playing a game. It's called where you're going to be working in a factory overseas, and you are asked to try to produce products, a number of products, and keep up with it. So I think that'll be fun. Most people find it rather interesting, but just something to think ahead that it's a little bit different than just reading. And then I'm also asking you to track products that you use for a day. So when you get up from, that first cup of coffee all the way until when you go to bed, where did your products come from? Is where are your shirts from, your backpack, your books, different things like that. Just to kind of get an impact for you to feel how many products we actually do produce in other countries. And you'll be asked to share your results for both of those in a discussion board. And then there also is going to be a current event again. So make sure that you get on there and participate with that. Anyway, I hope you have a great week, and I hope that you find this information helpful.